We're about 3 days away from the OHL trade deadline, 2 days away from the overager trade deadline, and now we have a flurry of moves to discuss. All in the matter of the last couple of hours, we've had a handful of trades, and we'll start things off with the Barrie Colts. We saw at the game last night that Jacob Frasca was seen taking photos on the ice with teammates, and we kind of speculated that maybe Frasca would be on the move, and that has been confirmed. Jacob Frasca heading to the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds along with an 8th-round pick for Brandon Cirizzotti, along with Flint's 2nd-round draft pick for this year, and then along with a 3rd and a 4th. So a good pickup here for the Soo Greyhounds and also for the Barrie Colts. Frasca, 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 points in 17 games. He had that hip injury that kept him out of the lineup for just over a month, but since he's been back, he's just been so dominant in the face-off circle. And the Soo Greyhounds, they're just going to love having that. This is a team that's looking to have a deep run in the playoffs, and Frasca will certainly help with that. And if you're a Greyhounds fan, you saw Frasca score those 2 goals last night. One of those goals being an empty net goal, but they all count. And for Jacob Frasca, he's been a fan favorite with the Barrie Colts, and I'm sure Greyhound fans are going to love him there as well. So for the Barrie Colts, getting a Cirizzotti, he is an overager, but he is a player that's kind of bounced around the league a little bit. He was selected in the 2nd round by the Ottawa 67s, and then after spending a season there, ended up being moved to the Niagara Ice Dogs in the 2021-2022 season, and then moved to the Greyhounds last year. In 38 games this season, Cirizzotti has 14 goals, 14 assists, good for 28 points. And for the Barrie Colts, the offense has been lacking of late. So if Cirizzotti can continue where he left off with the Greyhounds, that'll help the Barrie Colts in their push to make it into the postseason. Barrie right now 3 points behind the Peterborough Petes for that final playoff spot. So Cirizzotti should help for a run to the postseason this year, and then of course those picks for the future. So I think this is a good return for the Barrie Colts. It's tough to see a player like Jacob Frasca going off, but he's going to get a chance to play with a competitive team this year, and that Greyhounds team in quite the battle right now in the West Division with the Saginaw Spirit. So we'll see what happens on that front, and all the best to Jacob Frasca. Now let's look at some of the other moves that took place this afternoon. The Peterborough Petes continue to sell off as expected. First of all, they sent Sam Maillet to the Ottawa 67s for 3 draft picks, including Ottawa's 2nd-round pick for this year. So that's going to go a long way. The Peterborough Petes, of course, won the championship last year. They went all in last season, sending off young talents and draft picks. So they're restocking those cupboards, and they picked up some good picks from the Owen Sound Attack earlier in the week, and now they've got more draft picks in this move with Ottawa. For Maillet, he's a big defenseman. This year, 12 goals, 17 assists, good for 29 points. He's also 4th in scoring right now for the Peterborough Petes, so not too shabby for a defenseman. And he does bring that championship experience, which will help the Ottawa 67s. And he's also playing closer to home. He's from the Hawkesbury area, which is just east of Ottawa. So I think that's always a nice touch for the overager players, getting that chance to play closer to family and friends. And that's exactly what Maillet will be able to do as he helps the Ottawa 67s in their push towards the postseason. Now, the Peterborough Petes, they weren't done trading with division rivals. They made a 2nd trade, sending Jax Dubois to the Kingston Frontenacs. Now, Dubois, the leading scorer on this Peterborough Petes team, 13 goals, 21 assists this season, good for 34 points. I know Dubois, he's a fan favorite with the Peterborough franchise, and he's a big center, 6'4", 205 pounds. This is a huge addition for Kingston, as this is a team that kind of underperformed to start the regular season. They're starting to pick things up, and I think Dubois will just put them that next level as they try to play for home ice advantage in the Eastern Conference. And going the other way to the Peterborough Petes, another 3 draft picks, including Flint's 2nd-round pick in 2025. So this brings the championship experience to Kingston and just adds to that depth, because they already picked up Roman Schmidt from the Kitchener Rangers, and now you add a player like Dubois. I think things are looking up for the Kingston Frontenacs, and I wouldn't be surprised if they look to make another addition between now and Wednesday's trade deadline. Now, this one, a pretty significant trade involving the Flint Firebirds and the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Gavin Hayes, he's heading up north, and he's going for Connor Clattenburg, Alex Kostov, and 4 draft picks, including a 2nd-round pick in 2027 going to the Firebirds. Gavin Hayes will be playing with his brother Travis in the Sioux, And he's always a scoring threat. He's got 19 goals, 17 assists this season, 36 points in just 27 games. Last season, Hayes recorded 41 goals and 81 points in 66 games. So the Chicago Blackhawks prospect, he's a big piece for the Soo Greyhounds, and also just joining Jacob Frasca, who's acquired. So the Greyhounds making their big splash, but I think the Firebirds, they're going to like the addition of Clattenburg. 12 points in 30 games, while Kostov, who's a 2006, so he's a young player going back to the Firebirds. He has 7 goals this season, but 4 of them are shorthanded. And with those 4 shorthanded goals, that ties him with Carey Torrance of the Erie Otters for second most shorthanded goals in the Ontario Hockey League. So a little bit of a scoring threat there on the penalty kill unit for the Firebirds, who are just looking to the future. And after last night's loss, they lost 10-2 to the Oshawa Generals last night. They're looking to be a little more competitive to run out the season and hold on to that final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Now, this trade is a bit of a surprise, maybe by the price that was paid. The Niagara Ice Dogs, they've sent Bronson Ride to the North Bay Battalion. Ride, one of the bigger defensemen in the Ontario Hockey League, 6'6", 209 pounds. And he's off to the battalion for Charlie Robertson, their backup goaltender, and 5 draft picks. So North Bay, they're really buying into it. Yesterday, it was announced that they picked up the LeBlanc twins from the Sarnia Sting, along with Vilmanis, and that was a big trade for them. And then now adding Bronson Ride. North Bay, they're serious at challenging the Sudbury Wolves for top spot in the Central Division. Ride, though, he was traded to the Ice Dogs last season from Windsor. In 35 games so far this year, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. He's not known for his points or his shot from the point. It's just he's known for his physical play, his physical presence, and he's not a player you really want to mess with in the corner. So Bronson Ride, a very intimidating player, and he'd probably be a good fit with Ty Nelson on the back end for North Bay. So it's a physical player that the battalion are getting, but it's quite the price they paid. I know for Charlie Robertson, he's a young goaltender, and his stats have taken a bit of a step back this season. He's got a .373 goals against average and a save percentage of .885, which is both a little bit off from what we saw last year from Robertson. But I guess this means then that North Bay, pretty confident in the play of Mike McIver, the rookie goaltender. So he'll take over the backup role with the North Bay Battalion right behind Dom DiVincentis, who is, of course, one of the better goaltenders in the Ontario Hockey League. So those are the trades that have been confirmed today. They've already been posted on the OHL website. We're still waiting to find out what's going on with Owen Beck from the Peterborough Petes. He's the big fish at the trade deadline. There were rumors that he was already off to the Saginaw Spirit, but nothing has been confirmed. We haven't really heard what the holdup is, but it almost seems as though the Sudbury Wolves, they're a team to look out for. They're calling all the teams from what I'm hearing, and they're trying to look under every rock to see what kind of move they can make to improve their chances. Mind you, the Sudbury Wolves had that huge come-from-behind win over the Kitchener Rangers last night. So this is a team that's already got the talent, but they're just looking to add the depth. So don't be surprised if they're also kicking the tires when it comes to Owen Beck. And, for the Peterborough Petes, they're already getting the draft picks from some of these moves they made, but expect a big haul for them whenever they do find the right match for a trade involving Owen Beck. So we've already heard Saginaw's a team that could be picking him up. There's also the Soo Greyhounds, and I would not be surprised if the Sudbury Wolves were also in on him. And we haven't heard anything about the London Knights yet. They're a team that's right now on a 9-game winning streak. They've not yet made a move. I know they've got a lot of depth, and for them, they do tend to make that one move just before the trade deadline. And could that move be Owen Beck? We'll have to wait and see. We got a lot of excitement between now and Wednesday, and of course, Tuesday, the overager trade deadline. For the Barrie Colts, they're now they have 4 overagers still, with Sirazati coming over, but they have to make a decision about their goaltending. Of course, they've got Ben West and Anson Thornton, who has returned from the Arizona Coyotes. And what do they do with Connor Punnett? He's a defenseman that a lot of teams are looking at, but will he end up moving? We'll have to wait and see before Tuesday. But you've got 4 overagers, and you need to trim that number down to 3. So the Barrie Colts, they do have to make a decision between now and Tuesday. So let me know in the comments section down below your thoughts on the trades that have happened today, trades that you'd like to see done. And don't forget, we do have the live stream coming up on Wednesday. You can tune in at 8:30 a.m. and we'll wrap it up as soon as the deadline finishes. So we'll stay tuned for that. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.